I am doing it with my sister. And, sometimes other family members, my kids come out and they help. And I know that, life gets busy. You don't get to spend time with your family or whatever. And, I've just recently lost a friend. I'm probably going to, another friend is very ill. So you never know how much time that you're going to have with somebody. But I know those 2 days out of the year, I get to go and spend it with my sister.
Yeah, I love being able to share all the pictures because I mean this is something that now we have 10 years worth of stuff that we've done, which I just think is amazing. And like last year, my aunt came down from Indianapolis. Finally, we've been trying to get her to come down for like forever, and she walked around the festival and she's like, "This is amazing." People don't understand like how amazing the festival is until they get there and they see.
They're off in the Kentucky Derby.
Interest of the greater good for me to smoke a joint and calm down.
I am the greatest. He'll fall an eight to prove that I'm great. And if he keeps talking Jack, I'm going to cut it to five.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Ville Chillin' Podcast. Today, we have with us a couple more artists who have been involved in Via Colori that we've been talking about, and involved in quite a lot of other things, it sounds like. So, Karie and Jeff, right?
Yes.
How you guys doing today?
Doing excellent. How about yourself?
Doing good. I'm excited that Dusty made the connection and we're able to link up and actually talk because I'm excited to hear some of the background. The art's amazing. I love Scooby-Doo too. I grew up on Scooby-Doo, so
we love Scooby.
Yeah.
So why don't you kind of just give us an idea of how you got started in art? Has it been a lifelong thing, I guess, or?
As long as I can remember, I've been drawing. I really honestly can't go back to any part of my life where I wasn't drawing or trying to create art in some way. And, it just got lucky enough to, have my sister who knew Dusty and asked me to be a part of Via. And we've been doing it for 10 years now.
That's a long time. That's almost as long as it's even been involved here in Kentucky, right? It's pretty close.
Yeah. Well, and we started in E-Town.
Yeah. I remember Dusty saying that it started in E-Town. I spent a little bit of time in Bardstown, I think. And then, it's really grown quite significantly. So to be a part of it for that long is really cool. So are you a full-time artist? I can see there's tons of art. You gave us a bunch of stuff in the video.
I am a full-time artist, but I am not a artist who lives off of art.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
I'm what you would call a starving artist if that's what I was depending on to make money for sure. Yeah, I started out doing graphic arts back in the late 80s, early 90s. And, and that was kind of the cool job that everybody had back at that time. And I knew right then, even when I was starting it, we were doing 35 millimeter slides that I was doing art for. And I was doing a lot of the boring stuff with charts and demonstrative evidence for like lawyers and things like that. But I could tell right away that people were going to be able to do this, from their homes. I started out on a 386 computer, which is a joke. I've one picture in my phone has more, detail and information than that computer could hold back in the day. But I've, just developed over the years, different styles, different things to do as far as, art is concerned. I love it. I play music. I was with the band, anything to create and perform and say, hey, look at me. I guess that's what I do.
That's awesome.
Do you have a favorite like medium, or do they all kind of like interconnect and you can't really choose?
Probably, I would say oil painting, as far as what you would call a strict art, would be my my go-to. It didn't start out that way. I started out just drawing sketches and things like that. And I tried to paint one of my sketches way back in high school, and I totally screwed it up. And I didn't paint again until I was 20. Yeah, I was 22 and married when I started painting again, and it was because my wife at the time took me to the Speed Museum. I'd never really seen classic works of art up close, and I went up and I was like just inches away from the painting and looking at it, and the guy at the museum was like, "Can I help you?" And I was like, "I'm just trying to figure out how they did this." And he goes, "Did you figure it out?" I said, "I think I got it." You know, so that's how naive I was. I was like, "Yeah, I got it. I'm going to go home and do it." But you know, I worked at it till I became happy with what I could do. I mean, art is so subjective. I mean, you can ask my sister here. I didn't even call myself an artist for years. She finally just got mad at me one day and said, "You're an artist, just admit it." So there you are.
Hey, sometimes that's what we need.
That's what you need. Good swift kick. She's good at kicking me.
There you go. Been doing it for many years.
Yeah.
Karie has developed into the person that we basically most of our like chalk art that we do at Via is I'll go and I'll do a rough sketch of it, and then she'll be crushing up the chalk to turn it into a paint, basically. Gotcha. And so most of ours are like less traditional and more of a painting medium, because she has gotten really good at the colors. If you some of those pieces that you'll see behind you where that has the purple in there, that's called Karie purple. We try to incorporate that in all of our drawings there at Via. She's gotten really good at it.
Today, like on the back of the Ghostbusters, that purple, and you'll also see it on our Scooby-Doo. That's the purple that we're talking about. That's like our purple. You'll see it probably about 6 or 7 pieces that we've done the last year.
That purple.
That purple right there. That's Karie purple.
That's a really. It's a beautiful purple. It looks very good. So you kind of take the chalk and I guess custom mix it. Is that to get that?
Yeah, like you will take it and I'll mix like a few different colors and you crush it up and you mix it with a little bit of water. You know, those like squirt bottles that you use for like barbecues. I shake it up, put it in there and like get it really mixed, and then we'll put it in a bowl. And what's really cool is like, so there'll be these little crumbles in the bottom. And like we'll pour that out and mix it in, and that will give it like some dimension instead of just like that flat color. If you saw at Via, I think there was part of ours was this cat that we did right next to the Ghostbusters ones we did. It was one, again, someone didn't show up. We did the one next to us, and that blue in the back is like a lot of that just crumbles mixed up and mixed in. And it gives like on that lion, like those different colors of shading too.
That's cool. That's a cool way to add just a different element to chalk art, you know.
How long does it take? Because you guys have been doing this at this festival for over, you said 10 years. So like, is that something that a skill that you kind of developed, or like a technique that y'all developed over time, or like is this something that you guys have been using for a while, or just how did it come to you?
The first year that we did it, we did straight chalk. And then as I was going around and I saw like how people were doing the painting with the art or with the chalk, I asked Desi, I'm like, this is a really cool thing. She goes, yeah, this is what we're talking about when we're doing like street painting. And so just over the years, you kind of like figure out what is the best way to do it. So it's just been like a learning process, with everything else. And, like how much water to put in there. Like for different colors, you need a different thickness, and a different, like black, you want it to be really thick because you want that big, thick line through there. And like some colors a little bit thinner to spread them out. So it's, just 10 years of building up, like this is what's going to work best. And, we're always finding new ways to do it too. So the butterfly in the eye, that was one of the ones, that was a painting that he did. And that was one of the first ones that we did with just straight chalk. And you get like such a more like the headless horseman there. it's so much more vibrant than doing just straight chalk. Now it takes us a long time. I know you had Kayla on here. That girl came in last Saturday and Sunday. We did the Big Four Art Festival. She came and whipped something out in like 2 hours, which had taken us all day.
Wow. I was about to ask how long it normally takes, because I know, when we were talking to Dusty and Kayla that, Dusty did say, Kayla gets them done really fast. So I was curious.
She is so
so
fast.
the Ghostbusters one we spent a couple of days on, but then the second day we were also working on the piece next to her, so it took a little bit more time. Yeah, on the Ghostbusters, it was probably with both 2 days, probably about 12 hours, 13 hours.
Wow.
But then, like I said, the second day we were also working on the one next to us, so it was kind of split up. Like I was painting on one thing and he was drawing, and then he would switch and come back and draw, and then I would come back and paint. So we got it finished right at the end of the festival.
Yeah, the first year, we learned so much, because the first year I didn't know what I was doing. I'd never done chalk art. And, I told Karie if I was going to go do it, she's going to have to do it with me. And so I went out there, and like she said, we were trying to do this fancy artsy thing, over here. And I'm rubbing the chalk with my hand. And I was like, oh, that's a different color that I've got going on there. And I realized that, it's my blood.
Oh no!
Oh my goodness!
The chalk, because I had rubbed my fingers so raw on the blacktop there, and I was like, "We need to do what this guy next to us was doing." Who he ended up doing? It was Cookie Monster, or was it Elmo?
It was Cookie Monster. Everyone loved
Basically, he drew 3 big circles. And he had every single kid come by. It's like, oh, look, it's Cookie Monster. I mean, he got all the attention. People come by and look at ours like, yeah, okay, whatever. And they just walked on by. I'm like, we need to gear towards the families and the kids. So I kind of gave up trying to be artsy fartsy and do something more, for the kids. And we basically went with a Halloween theme, since it's been in Louisville and it's right before Halloween. So we've stuck with that. We really enjoy that.
And I noticed in some of the art, and especially the ones that are at Via or appear to be at Via, that there is a lot of Halloween and spooky themed art. I was kind of wondering what that led to that inspiration. So some people just love the Halloween season anyways, but it does make sense since it's right around that time.
Yeah, we'd probably be doing it anyway, even if it was in March, because we like the spooky kind of stuff and everything, and it's not like super frightening, so kids can enjoy it. Although one year we did do Pennywise, a big huge Pennywise, the original Pennywise face, and we had a couple kids that didn't like that too much. It was kind of frightening, so we went more Scooby-Doo in that area there, and try not to give any kids any mental issues.
That's
and
perfect.
Then for 3 years we had the Eagle was our sponsor, so we did like a monster rock and roll theme, so that kind of tied in with our sponsor.
That one right there, the Headless Horseman, showed the Eagle.
Yeah, that was the Eagle. Yeah,
that was the Eagle.
That's really cool.
Thank you.
All of it's really awesome, and just going back to being multi-dimensional. It looks like you do sculpting, painting, chalk art. You said you do music. That's really cool. There's so much there. How do you decide what you want to focus on at a time? Do you kind of just get an idea and run it to completion, or?
We'll start talking about what we want to do the day that we're actually doing it for next year, but we won't do anything. We think that we might have an idea of what we're going to do, but like the Ghostbusters thing there with Scooby-Doo, the crossover Ghostbusters Scooby-Doo, we didn't know until I started drawing it that's what we were going to do that day. So it's like one of those things. I'm not going to dwell on it or whatever. We usually work best under pressure, so we'll go in there. And I see a lot of artists in there, and they've known what they were going to do, and they come in, they're prepared, and they mark everything out, and they come up with some just incredible art. I don't function that way. I can't do that. It's got to be almost spontaneous.
It's part of that ADHD we were talking about.
It is. I mean, we thought before, like, this is what we're going to do, and then we'll get there, and we'll both look at each other and was like, no, we're not going to do that. This is what we're going to do. And then we walk around and see, there's over 100 artists there, and they're just incredible. I saw that you had on your podcast, you had
Joel
Nathan.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
It's funny when I flashed right back to that when you said Renaissance man, because he said the same thing.
yeah, absolutely. He's probably more of a Renaissance man than I am. I'm more of a, I do lots of different things and slightly well. He does the art that he does is just incredible. Super jealous of his ability to just go in there and knock out some of the pieces of art that he does. I mean, he has just multiple faces on there, and they're just so detailed and incredible, and all the different.
I'm sorry, we seem to be having some technical difficulties. In other news,
it literally
I think the
Ghostbuster
Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is what's freezing you. I think every time he holds his hand up, I think he's saying stop, and that's what happens there.
Oh my goodness, that's so crazy.
Kim and Dusty is a great artist in her own right. She gave up doing the art, so she could head this whole thing, and it's kind of sad in a way, but man, I don't think anybody could do it as well as she does.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? About how you guys met up with Dusty as far as like getting being brought into, you said 10 years ago?
Well, it's funny because I knew one of Dusty's friends for a long time. I went to a communications school way back in the day, and I never met her. And then Karie, you go ahead and take it from there.
Well, Dusty and I both were preschool teachers at Kinder Care Learning Centers back in 2010. And we got to just be really great friends. And at one time she needed a second teacher, and they put me in there, and they're like, y'all are too weird together. I don't know if this is going to work. But she was always like, you guys got to come out. You got to see this festival in E-Town. Your brother's an artist. You need to come out. It's like the first, few years I just didn't come to fruition. And then finally in 2014, he was like, okay, we're going. And so we started in E-Town on the asphalt, which was not fun. And we just have been doing it ever since. And that's how I actually started working at Girl Scouts as well. We were doing Nulu Fest last year, and Dusty came up, and I'm like, hey, give me some flyers. I'll pass them out for Girl Scouts. We're just here like doing art. We're doing chalk art actually for.
I'm sorry, we seem to be having some technical difficulties. In other news.
What's up, everybody? We just wanted to take a quick pause and say, if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. Drop us a couple comments. Let us know what you like, what you don't, and let us know what you think about the video. And make sure to share out with your friends and family. It really helps us a lot.
Yeah, we're on every social media platform. We're on every podcast provider out there. So whenever you get a chance, just give us a like, give us a follow. We definitely appreciate it. It really helps us out.
And with that, we'll get right back to it.
Yeah.
He freezes everything.
Yeah, guys, that's what it is.
It is.
Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is halting you. I guess that may be the beginning of the video or something.
It must be. Yeah.
I think it's chopping you up there.
Yeah, every time he comes up, he freezes. But she's like,
feel free to stop it if you need to.
Yeah, we'll just leave it on one. Maybe we'll have better look. That's a good representation of at least Via. So, and there's plenty of the other art out, which I'll edit all of those pieces out where it's not going to just freeze when I release it.
I was blaming AT&T the whole time.
And those are leaves on there. If anybody's wondering, like, what's on? We were under a tree that year.
I figured it just added to the whole atmosphere. So it was like,
it didn't even register to me. I figured it was just part of it, to be honest.
We were under a tree. But then last summer, Dusty came to the Nulu Fest. Like I said, I was passing out. I'm like, give me some flyers for Via. I'll pass them out while I'm here. Because we were just doing some chalk art for them. We did a Bourbon and Beyond logo. And so she's like, hey, you need to come and work at Girl Scouts. So now I work at Girl Scouts, which Via Colori benefits. So it just kind of like all has come full circle in the last few years, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Because I did childcare for like 23 years. So being around kids and everything is just like second nature to me. So
that's really cool. How's that been working for the Girl Scouts? You know what?
It's been amazing. I started there in February, and I have I have Oldham County, Henry County, Shelby County, some part of Bullitt County. And what I do is I do recruitment for them. So I flyer schools and invite girls to parties that I have, and we do crafts, and I talk to the parents and get girls excited about joining Girl Scouts. And I love it when I come into a room and there's like, 10 girls there and they're all excited about doing it. So it's very rewarding too, because Girl Scouts is such an amazing program for young girls. My daughter was a Girl Scout. We had the best time because I was a volunteer with her troop. I wasn't a troop leader, but I was a volunteer. And I mean, just some of the amazing things, trips and field trips and opportunities there are for girls. I mean, you can stay in Girl Scouts all the way up to you graduate high school. There were 4 first ladies that were Girl Scouts. I mean, it just teaches empowerment of girls. And that's something that I hold dear because, my best friend works at a domestic violence shelter in E-Town. In fact, it was one of her girls that were going to court that day that was shot and killed in E-Town.
Oh,
and
no.
You know what? If you have a good core about who you are and yourself, the sense of self-worth that we build in Girl Scouts, that's not going to happen to you. So that is another reason that I really love the program that we have.
Yeah, that's sad. Like, I'm sorry to hear that. That's heartbreaking.
Yeah, I mean, it is, and it happens. I mean, her shelter is always full there. And you know what? If these women had something to build upon and know their self-worth and build their self-esteem from when they were young girls, instead of relying, like on social media tells you have to be beautiful or this. No, you need to be beautiful on the inside as well as the outside. And that's something that we really love to teach girls. It's all about what you can do. I mean, we do archery. We do stuff that Boy Scouts do. We go camping. Yep. We go on field trips. And it's something that, if you're not good in sports and anything else, there are programs for you. I wasn't good in sports. I can't draw like my brother. Girl Scouts is an amazing program for girls like that.
Yeah, my little sisters were actually in Girl Scouts for a time when we were younger. So I remember like all the different things. And honestly, as a brother of the Girl Scouts, I got to go on some of those things too. So it was pretty cool.
You were a tag along.
I was. Those are good cookies too.
Yes, they are.
So yeah, I definitely wholeheartedly support the Girl Scouts and the whole mission behind it. I think it's awesome. I have 4 sisters, 3 younger, an older sister. I have a daughter, so I definitely understand the importance of it, and I think it's awesome. And it takes people, like you, dedicating the time and the energy and making it a personal mission to make it successful. And it's the same thing the same type of ambition that goes into Via Colori and making it so successful. And Dusty bringing in, and I guess the Via Festival as a whole, bringing in young artists, from the Girl Scouts and everything it goes right along with what you're talking about. It adds that sense of empowerment.
Volunteer based. So those artists that are out there, I mean, it's all volunteer. We go out there for 2 days and volunteer our time, which is the same with the Girl Scouts. Our troop leaders, our co-leaders, they're all volunteers. And it's amazing the effort that these women put in to make a great experience for these girls. So, I mean, hats off to all of our troop leaders and our co-leaders and our service unit managers. They do an amazing job.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been yet, but just seeing the pictures and some of the art, and of course, talking to Dusty, talking to you, and, you can definitely see all that coming together. We're really excited to actually be able to talk about it and kind of let people see more behind the scenes of what it's like. Because it takes a village. It definitely takes a village, but it's really cool. And even just the artists, the artists donating their time. And so this is something I've asked on asked Joel and Kayla. How do you feel knowing that the art's only there for like 2 days and it's not even finished during that whole time and then it's gone? How do you feel about that?
All things must pass. I mean, it's not gonna, it's not gonna last, so you just enjoy it while you can. I mean, there's so many things in life are just fleeting anyways. So it's, you get there and you enjoy it for 2 days, and the camaraderie and just the amount of different art that's there, and you see the time and the effort that these people put into it. There's not people going out there and it's like, oh, I'm just doing this volunteer, so I'm just going to throw down something, whatever. I mean, people put great time and effort into it. And like you said, it's like a Chinese sand painting. It's going to go away. They purposely wash it off on Monday. That come Monday, I don't know, 10, 11 o'clock, whenever they come through, they're going to blow it all away. But, we get done, we walk up to the Big Four Bridge, and we stand on top and we look at all the art that's down there, and it's just an incredible scene, and you just enjoy it, while you have it. I mean, that's it. You enjoy it and you look forward to next year.
That's cool. And it's kind of been the same answer for everyone, and I find that really awesome. It's definitely a community thing, and a certain mentality that it takes, I think, which, it's funny. Kayla, she said all of her paintings are pretty much the same way anyways, because if it doesn't sell, she just paints over them. So
I can relate to that. I have some of my paintings are like a half-inch thick, because I was like, I've got one painting, I call it Madonna of the Bus Stop. And every time you see it, it looks different the next time you see it, because I just use it for practicing it and just going, over it. But, can't, if you fall in love with it, you'll be like, I have like 12 paintings that they'll never sell. They'll never be anything. They're just my babies, and they just sit there. But art is fleeting.
Yeah, that's true. And
unless it's the pyramids or some ancient Egyptian art.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
we even had one year when we were in E-Town, we were making this really cool, like 3D, like planet thing. And it rained while we were doing it. It was like, oh, well.
Oh, man. Yeah.
We'll get there early today.
we were told we don't say the R word when we talk to Dusty and Kayla. Because that was one thing we asked. And that's, I mean, it's so cool to have that kind of an attitude towards it. It really makes it's just a free-spirited, moment in time. And luckily in this day and age, we do have the technology to take pictures. And that way you can at least go back and look and you still have those memories. And that's really cool. That's awesome. And so are there any specific memories? You've mentioned a lot, but what would you say is like maybe your favorite moment from a Via Colori festival or another art festival?
You want to take it first, Karie?
No, go ahead. I'm thinking.
For me, it's that, I am doing it with my sister, and, sometimes other family members, my kids come out and they help. And I know that, life gets busy. You don't get to spend time with your family or whatever. And, I've just recently lost a friend. I'm probably another friend is very ill. So you never know how much time that you're going to have with somebody. But I know those 2 days out of the year, I get to go and spend it with my sister. I was like, no excuses. Nobody can, that's our time. Leave us alone. You're going to go have this, special time there. So I guess it's the cumulative thing there, where I know that I have this, and we have this every year, and we get to, we fight like brother and sister all the time. And we'll even like, that's not the color that you said it was going to be, or whatever, but it's all, and get fun and everything else. That's probably for me. That's it. Just, getting to spend some time with family.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I love being able to share all the pictures, because I mean, this is something that now we have, 10 years worth of stuff that we've done, which I just think is amazing. And like last year, my aunt came down from Indianapolis. Finally, we've been trying to get her to come down for like forever, and she walked around the festival and she's like, this is amazing. People don't understand like how amazing the festival is until they get there and they see, because I mean, they don't understand. These are 10 by 10 foot pieces of art. They're huge.
Yeah.
And I just get warm sharing it with people. So, but being able to spend it with my brother is another amazing thing. So yeah, we look for. Last year I was supposed to go to a wedding and I didn't go because it was oh man, not going to the wedding.
And as you said, you can take pictures of it, but it's being that large of a piece of art, every angle looks different.
Yeah.
I just what was it, 2 weeks ago that we were there for
the Big Four Art Festival. That was the 7th and the 8th.
Yeah. So we were there, and I did this big hand holding. We love doing jack-o'-lanterns. It was this big hand holding this jack-o'-lantern, and I did it to tag Halloween for Huntington's disease on there. And I've gotten to where, before when I first was taking pictures, I was standing like you would see it, straight on and take the picture so I could, have it like you normally would look at it. But then I realized that if I go to the other side and I take the picture from the opposite side and then flip it upside down, it's a completely different picture. The angle from that large is it's amazing how different it looks. And that's why, like I said, we like to go up on the Big Four Bridge and look down on it because it's a completely different, view that you get up there. And that takes me back to Joel with doing the faces and stuff and everything he does to get the perspective from that. It's not an easy thing to do because to make it look like it's uniform and that it's not, the faces aren't stretched or, things are shrunken or whatever. It takes a little, it takes some talent to do it. I don't have talent. Anything I got to get from God. I don't know what happened. I just got lucky. That's it.
No, that's really cool. It's funny you mentioned going up on the Big Four Bridge now, and it reminds me of when Dusty mentioned that Google Satellites has images of the festival.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, you can actually see it on Google Earth or the satellite image,
I didn't know that.
and it seems like it was on the first day because there's a lot of paintings just being started, but it is really cool, just speaking to the size of it because you see people, but then you see the massive squares laid out. It's really cool. We're definitely gonna have to make sure we take a trip up onto the bridge and check it out.
Yeah, we'll be over there working, and then we'll hear like a buzzing sound, and there'll be drones, flying overhead, taking, pictures and stuff. People have, bring the drones out there and take some, some pretty cool videos that I've seen.
Yes,
it's pretty neat.
The Stay Puft picture is actually from the Big Four Bridge. That one is from the Big Four. Yeah, this one was this Scooby-Doo is from the main drag, so that's why we were underneath the tree.
Gotcha.
We have been down by the river quite a few times. So a lot of ours are from the bridge looking down, but that one we were way over, so it came out really good.
Yeah, we like being down there by the water. Sometimes you have to deal with, like some mud and things, sometimes, but it's all worth it because it's just, it's beautiful. You got the river there. It's a great view. And, you do get to go up on the Big Four and see your artwork, from a perspective that you can't, from the other side over there. So hopefully we'll be there again this year.
Never know. Sometimes we're on the main drag, sometimes we're there. And you never know what the weather's going to be. I swear, always the first day of Via, it's 40 and the wind is blowing 70 miles an hour.
Oh, wow. Well, especially right there on the river.
In Kentucky, man, that's what it is. And
the next day, you dress all
freezing and hot as can be. And the wind's blowing 90 miles an hour. Yep. We were doing it one year, and I mean, the things that are round roll. we're chasing things all over the place and trying to keep all of our chalk and everything in one spot. We spent as much time doing that as I think it was we did creating the art that year.
Yes.
But that's just a testament to those memories you get to make. You get to look back on that and chuckle about it. And I'm sure it's frustrating as it can be in the moment, because you're trying to get something done, but
we just laugh about it. I mean, that's all you can do. It's
still better than E-Town in September when the pavement was hot.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine.
It's much better in October than like the first week of September. That was really, really hot. And when we did the Nulu Festival, we did the Summer Fest last year. Holy cow. So we'd never done something in July.
Oh, that sounds brutal.
That was hot.
Yeah, we had to bring out some things for kids to sit on because it was hot. It was baking.
Does the chalk act the same? Does the chalk or like the oil, like does it act the same, when it's hot or cold, or is it as far as like consistency?
It does dry a lot faster when the heat's on there. So you're going through a lot more chalk, or if you want to call it paint, it takes a lot more because it's and dry. So blending and everything else, it's a little more of a challenge, but we've done it so long now that we pretty much, you can throw anything at us except the R word.
Yes, there's really not many people can control that one.
No. I heard Dusty talking about, when she was coming around and throwing those rain ponchos at everybody.
Yes.
We were taping, and she is not exaggerating. And she came through and she was chucking it. I mean, if you were standing there and you weren't doing anything, you got a rain poncho tossed at you and some tape, and everybody pitched in. And I mean, the precipitation came down for just a few minutes, and then it was gone, and it was beautiful. It was great.
Yeah.
And we always have tape. So we were like helping people tape up. And I swear, no sooner we got everything taped up, the sun came out, and we're like, but we didn't trust it. We still waited a minute.
Yeah. Make sure it's not a trick. It might come back.
You just never know.
Yeah, especially right there on the river.
Actually, that was the year we did Scooby-Doo, wasn't it?
That was the year.
Yeah. No, that was that year. We're like,
yeah, it was that year.
Oh wow! So that one had a poncho over it for a period of time.
Yes,
and our neighbor,
four of them, like
away with getting
you put it over
something, and we helped our neighbor out because they were away, and we helped tape up theirs while they were gone. All the artists, it's not a competition or anything like that, right, which makes it really nice. Everybody, is learning from each other. You're watching other techniques and things like that, and it's definitely a learning experience. We learn something every single year about, Karie now has, she's got all the equipment that we need. She's got, pool noodles and cups and mallets to crush the chalk and everything. I mean, she's got it down. I just have to show up, and she's got everything set and ready.
Because I'm not drawing anything. You don't want me to draw anything. That ain't gonna come out good. I can write my name legibly. That's about it.
I'm the same way. I can't draw a straight stick figure, so that is not my thing. But yeah. I appreciate
draw
it.
These pumpkins? Yeah, no. I can't draw pumpkins. I'll draw the triangle eyes. I can do that.
And beyond art, there's all kinds of great vendors there. We were sponsored by who was it? We were sponsored by last year.
We did Green River.
Yeah, Green River.
Brewing, and then
they took really good care of us. By the end of the day, my knees weren't hurting. They were nice and lubricated, and
we had a West Six Brewing.
Great food.
Yeah. This year, we're actually sponsored by the Big Four Art Festival. That's who our sponsor. That's why we were doing some demonstrations last weekend, because they are going to be our sponsor for this festival. So,
okay, awesome.
That's pretty cool.
That's really cool. So you mentioned vendors. Who would you say like some of your favorite like food vendors or something there were? Because Dusty had one that she had to mention. So do you have any favorite repeat food vendors that show up?
I like the Tito's people. They make great Bloody Marys. So.
We always start off with the Bloody Marys. So
yeah. If it's 40 degrees outside, you want to get warmed up. So it's a place to go over there. But no, they I can't remember the name of the Mexican
Ramiro's.
Ramiro.
Yeah, Ramiro's.
Really good.
Yeah.
A really
They've
good
been there.
barbecue out there as well.
Mhm.
But I can't remember the name of the barbecue place, but they were
I
really
can't either. But there was a really good barbecue one, but I can't remember the name of it. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I usually don't get to go. Usually don't see the vendors till about 4 or 5 hours into the day, because I got my nose down in the concrete, just drawing and getting everything sketched out. I'm not Kayla. She is so fast. I mean, we just for the last event that we did, I was doing this waterfall down the steps to go down towards the river down there, and for just the cheap chalk and everything, I thought it came out pretty good. And I looked down, and she had already incorporated her art flowing into my art. And then she decided that wasn't enough. She went to another big square and built another. It was like a maniac hamburger or something. She's got a great imagination. It was pretty cool. But if Dusty gave her 5 squares down there and told her to go to town, I mean, I give her 4 hours and she's got 5 incredible pieces of art.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild. That's just
her
pure talent and effort and
crushing up her own chalk and getting it done.
Yeah, she's all on her own. I got we got a duo here. We got, somebody's crushing everything and helping me paint. Karie, paints as well. Once we get it in there, man, she's gotten really adept at, painting it, and shading and everything like that. And we're usually the last to get there in the morning and the last to leave on Sunday. I maybe it's because I'm old. I don't know. We're just slow.
Everybody,
we're happy with the end product. I guess that's all it counts.
Anything, take time and enjoy it.
Yep. Yeah, as long as you enjoy doing it, that's what matters most.
Absolutely, it's for a great cause.
Memories. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yep. And it's awesome, and it's awesome that it's been running so long, and it seems like it sounds, just from the stories, it sounds like it just gets bigger and bigger every year, and the more people that can hear about it, the bigger it's just going to keep getting. And I know I've talked to a few friends about it, and hopefully we got some other people coming too. So it's an awesome thing. I can't wait to see what you have in store. I know you said you won't know till the day of, but I wouldn't ask anybody beforehand anyways, because I want to see it in the moment. But I can't wait to see it and actually experience it, and not just in pictures, but in person. Sounds like just a good time.
It's one of the few things, the whole family, the littlest of kids can come out there and enjoy it, because kids are fascinated by, watching the artists actually, do their thing out there. And, we always have, you get the same, questions over and over again. Is that paint? Is that chalk? Or whatever. So, you got to. So, there's always, some people are just, curious. So I guess in a way it's kind of performance art, because you are out there kind of like, performing in front of people. If you have a problem, drawing or making art in front of people, it's not the event for you. But I haven't seen anybody that hadn't enjoyed it and hadn't talking to the people and really having a good time. Like I said, especially the kids, they're just so fascinated. And, you got every kid, is like, can I join in? They want to, grab some chalk. And there's, fortunately, there are some places over there where, kids can go over there and they can create, their own stuff. So it's definitely family friendly, and kids can let their inner artist out. I really enjoy that. I really like seeing kids being able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I can only imagine their reaction when they're seeing Scooby-Doo too. As a grown adult, I love Scooby-Doo. So I know if I was like, 5, I'd be hyped as well, definitely.
Yeah. So many parents though, it's like, hey, do you know who that is? They're asking their kids. Yeah, that's Scooby-Doo. And it's just a rush. It's just, I love it. The kids, love it. I'm not out here to try to prove what kind of artist I am or whatever. I want to do well, obviously, but I want the kids, to enjoy it. I want the families to enjoy it and have a good time.
That's cool.
And they do, so.
Yeah.
And it's amazing too, because if you come out the first day and you get to see like the start of this art and everything, and you come out the second day and see the process, which has become, that's an amazing thing. Because a lot of times what you see on the first day is not how this art ends up the second day. So it's the whole thing of it is pretty cool, really, to watch.
Yeah, we've had a lot of people, come out, and we'll be there just sketching it for the first day, and they're like, "Hey, we've never been here before. How long does this go on?" And we'd be like, "Tomorrow's the end. Come tomorrow and check and see what we've done, or whatever." But after Sunday, that you've missed your shot. And we will have a lot of people that will come like, remember us from yesterday, and yeah, and it's like, you've come so far, or whatever, and it's a whole process. I really I can't, there's not enough words to exclaim how much I love it. And I'm so happy that Justy did reach out to Karie and got us involved. I mean, the woman is amazing. She just really is.
Yeah, anytime that, like I said, there's an empty square, like last year, she was in the golf cart and came up. I'm like, "Hey, empty square. Do you want us to do this?" She's like, "Yes." I'm like, Dusty has to do something. We're like in there and like, done. We got it. We got this.
I'm laughing because Dusty is, man, she is like patting. She is going around and she is like making things happen, man. He's like, I turn around and like I hear like the tire, hear a little conversation behind me. Like Karie says, "We got a square, we got to do over here. We got to do this, or whatever, man." She's on it, man. She's AJ Foyt around that thing.
Hey, she makes it happen though.
She does, and she's amazing. I was talking to her at the office yesterday, and I'm like, "How you holding up?" Because it's almost time. She's like, "I'm holding up. I'm tired, but it's going to be amazing as usual." And I'm like, "We know it is."
Yeah, it's really cool to see and to be able to talk to her, and it's because it sounds like she had a hard time transitioning from just being an artist to being the organizer. It's hard to give up that artistic aspect of it, but in my mind, just being able to organize something like that is an art in and of itself,
isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's juggling, man, at its finest.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I just said that's juggling at its finest. I mean, she's got so many balls in the air, man. She is taking care of so many different things, wearing so many different hats. She does an incredible job.
And it's grown so much.
Yeah.
I mean, it used to, like, she was still looking for artists, like right up before the festival. And now if you don't get in there and register, you're not going to get a square. I mean, this last year, I thought that he had done it. He thought I had done it. And she's sending me an email. "You're not registered. What the hell? Get in there and get this done." I'm like, "I thought he did it."
She knows a check for me because I'm such a slacker, man. I was like, people just need to tell me where and when to be someplace. And I'm like, I'm not registered. She's like, "No, you're not registered." She would know if you're registered. When she said you're not registered, you're not registered. I'm like, "Oh yeah, just, get on it, man."
Where and when, people. Just tell us where and when.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, she was like, "I can't believe." I thought she'd probably hunt us down and be like, "You still have to go. I don't care if you're on there."
Yeah. She said, "We know there'll be empty squares."
Yeah.
He's always been an amazing person. So I'm so happy that we've been a part of this for this many years too.
Yeah, and you can tell y'all you love it about as much as she does, if not the same amount. You can tell that it's just a part of your life. It's a part of your year. I mean, if you're missing weddings and things, to make sure you can go to Via, then that's pretty huge, because Via happens every year.
Yeah.
But
right after you get married again. I'm just kidding. He's amazing.
And it happens at the perfect time for me, because I go right from this to doing the Huntington's disease thing, which is also something that's very close to my heart. Happens there at the Mercury Ballroom, October 26th, I think, this year. So October is kind of like our charity month. That's, we try to do as many charity events as we can in October. And there's no, I can't think of really off my head two things I'd rather be involved with than Via and the Huntington's disease. They're both very close to my heart, just because of, my sister was a Girl Scout, and I was one of those guys that went from the library and hung out and ate cookies over across the street at the Girl Scouts over there. So I've been around them forever, and have a good friend of mine. His daughter has Huntington's, and it's a terrible, terrible thing. And I'm glad that we can do whatever we can to help. So there's a heart good to be able to do, something for somebody else, especially, what little, talent that, I got is great to just be able to spend some time and have somebody that will sponsor us and let us do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thankful.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like you said, two very awesome events, and it's good that it's awesome that you're willing to donate your time to, not everybody would.
Yeah.
So are there any other festivals that you do? I know you've mentioned you did Nulu this year and then the Big Four. So are there any others?
I'll be at the Nulu Fall Fest for, that'll be promoting Via. I'll have like flyers there to hand out. I try to get some artists to come. I think Kayla is still going to be busy. I don't know if she's going to be able to come or not. Jeff will be out of town. I just like for them to come and like do a little art there, but I'll have a whole chalk zone for kids to do, but I'll be promoting Via at that as well too. So
when is
that? I think that is the Nulu Fall Fest is
the 28th.
27th, 28th. It's whatever that Saturday is, right in there.
Okay.
So we'll be promoting Via at that too. Girl Scouts and Via. So
awesome. I know my daughter's looking forward to getting to come and see the art or the chalk art because, before we talked to Dusty, she saw me checking out the website and stuff, just trying to familiarize myself with what it is and all that different stuff. And she was really fascinated by it. So I'm going to try to get her out there at least one of those days. She's only 5, so I don't know that she'll be able to stay all day. I don't know. We'll see what her attention span's like.
She'll be that kid that wants to run up and down the wharf down there and just look at everything, which is fun.
There's a lot to look at.
She definitely will.
And there's music. We so many kids go out there and they walk and they'll see the the art, and then they'll go over there and they're dancing and everything. And thank you guys too, by the way, for really helping support this and dedicating as much time as you guys have to helping us out. It really means a lot.
It's our pleasure. We're thankful that Dusty reached out, and we're just happy to be a part of it. We're so happy to be involved. It doesn't take much. We just sit here and talk. We're definitely not doing a hard part in this whole thing. We're talking and just trying to share where we can when we can. So it's an honor to be a part of it.
Helps, yeah.
every little bit helps, and and it's a huge thing because I know you guys a podcast is going to take off. I hadn't watched it before until Karie had told me about it, and then I started watching several of the episodes that you have, and you guys have a wide variety of topics, and I'm sorry that I missed it, but I'm glad that I've discovered you guys.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. That means
Absolutely.
a lot to us. We
So
like to
we'll
just
be telling people about your podcast. So
got it. Exactly. Yeah. Symbiotic. Exactly. We just try to cover everything that Kentucky has to offer. Kentucky's kind of a hidden gem. It's not the most talked about state, but there is so much that goes on here within Louisville, outside of Louisville, so much cool history, and a lot of cool people doing cool things is what we like to say when we get to talk to people. We love talking to cool people doing cool things, and there's a lot of it that's just not being capitalized on, at least in a lot of areas. Music from here is kind of coming up in certain genres, but as far as art and everything else, it's not the biggest tourist destination, and it should be for certain things like Via and Nulu and various other things. So that's just what we started. That was our idea, and we're just 1 week at a time. But
well, good. I'm glad you guys are on board.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And thank you for having us on.
Of course. We're very happy. We're going to try to keep talking to as many artists as we can. Of course, the festival's coming up pretty quick, so don't know how many we'll get in, but hey, there's always time after. There's always
Absolutely.
That's right.
There's always
you show the art that was
you go out there and
there.
experience it for sure.
Yeah. And speaking of being there, don't be surprised if we find you guys and stop for a minute. We're going to try to do some live questions there if you're open to it.
Oh, absolutely.
We're going to try to talk to as many people there that we can as well, just to just quick 5 minutes or so, just a few questions, and try to do basically, I guess, like a montage of just the different artists and different things going on. So
let us know if y'all need any help breaking up chalk or anything like that.
Hey, I've
we're
got a
willing
mouth
to help.
with your name on it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, my daughter might like banging some chalk into the ground
There
or
you
whatever
go.
too.
Get
So
in a baggie, beat the crap. And the other day I was making some, and I was white, and I was banging it all up, and I had this baggie, and I'm lifting up going, well, this probably doesn't look very good.
It doesn't look real good. Or there at the Girl Scout tent.
oh
Yeah.
man, that's funny. I'm sure it's probably not the first time though. I see white in some of these other ones. It just happened to hit that day.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's so cool.
You might not recognize this when you come over there, because usually I'm wearing about 8 colors on my face. And there's a great shot of me one time. My hand was just completely blue, and it was like just a Smurf hand, out there. But I can't wear gloves and do it. I gotta I gotta feel it and everything on there. It's so we get it all over us. And
and the headless horseman, we're showing our hands, but they're just black. It wouldn't come off at that point. It was on there for 2 days. It wasn't coming off.
Oh wow.
Yeah, my beard finally has some color in it for it's like all the colors of the rainbow in my beard there.
That's awesome. Hey, I can't wait. I really can't wait. And we'll probably hunt you down one way or another. We'll find you, or we'll find Dusty. We'll just look for the golf cart and ask.
You won't have to look long, because she's making circles around
zing. Yeah. Wow. This has been really fun. Is there anywhere people can find your art online? Do you publish anything online, or?
Not really. Mostly anything that you find online that I did, I have a YouTube page. It's Addict Child 1. And if you look at that up on that was the band that I was in, Addict Child, and somehow somebody got that name before I did.
Oh wow.
So I'm Addict Child 1 on YouTube, and I post music and videos. Some of them are only like 7 seconds long that I combine together whenever I do the Huntington's thing there at the Mercury. But not really. I'm more of like a commission guy. If somebody has something that they want me to do, I'll do that. But I'm not the kind of guy that goes out there and paints a bunch of paintings and then goes and tries to sell them. That's too much work. And
understandable.
Then it's less fun for me too. I'm not like the commercial guy. But we will have a booth there. My wife does these tie-dyes. She does incredible
That's awesome.
Tie-dye work, and she has a site to buy shirts. It's mftease.com, mftease.com, and she sells shirts on there. Say that 5 times fast. And she sells shirts down at the seashore. We'll be having those for sale there, and so you guys can stop by and check that one out too.
Okay. And if there's a website, I'll put it in the description as well when we post this.
Appreciate that.
That way, if anybody's interested, they can find it. I'll go ahead and post the YouTube as well. Might as well. That way people can, see it if they want to. They can see more. I mean, of course, we had the video rolling beforehand, but, definitely caused some issues.
I'm a big
that was
weird until it wasn't.
Right. I don't know
what
was.
I didn't mean to sabotage you guys there.
No, I don't know. I was sitting here thinking we've had things freeze a couple times in the past, but not this bad. I'm glad you caught on to what it was, because I was looking, at you guys on another screen. I wasn't seeing what picture was behind us when it happened.
Yeah.
And she's the one that
I tell
knows
you
it.
why.
I just kind of like, was that stopping at the hand every single time? And she's like,
It's the new
Stay Puft
Ghostbusters movie. It's Frozen Empire.
That's it.
Stay put, Marshmallow Man. Stay
That's
put right there, guys. Everybody freeze.
Yeah, there's definitely a ghost in there in the computer or something.
Machine, man.
But yeah, we'll definitely include as much information as we can, as many links as we can. We want to help promote all the artists and the festival as much as we possibly can. So we'll definitely include all of that. I guess do you have anything else you want to cover? Do you guys have anything you want to add?
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for making time to talk to us on, a random afternoon during the week. It's been very fun though. It's been awesome. Every time I talk to somebody, I learn more and more about just the festival, and it builds the hype for me even, Hopefully it does for other people listening and watching as well, but it builds it for me. So thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
All
We
right.
appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. I guess with that, we'll see everybody next time.
They're off in the Kentucky Derby.
Interest of the greater good for me to smoke a joint and calm down.
I am the greatest. He'll fall an ace to prove that I'm great. And if he keeps talking jive, I'm going to cut it to 5.